Your brain is not prepared to handle all these kind of things when you're 18, 19, not even 25. You're maybe ready for that when you're 40. But then for tennis, it's too late.
Welcome to Tennis Insider Club. I am Borja Duran, and together with my partner, Caroline Garcia, here is where tennis stories and life conversations intersect. Join us as we uncover the untold personal journeys of the icons of the court.
I hope you will enjoy this conversation. For me, it was a real privilege. Before beginning, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episodes. Also, it will mean the world to me if you can share this episode with someone you think will enjoy it. Thank you! Before we dive into today's episode, I want to share something that's made a huge difference for me, both physically and mentally. Being on tour, constantly traveling, it's not always easy to get all the nutrients and vitamins I need. That's why I started drinking AG1 every day. It's packed with 75 vitamins and minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, and more to help me perform at the highest levels and take care of my body. And honestly, it just makes me feel better. I love starting my day with AG1, and I think you will too. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You will get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/tennisinsider to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/tennisinsider to start your new year on a healthier note. Thank you so much, Paula, for being with us today.
Pleasure.
First question, how did you start with tennis?
How did I start with tennis? Well, it's a little bit long story. I will try to keep it short. My family comes from the totally different world, fashion world. I was born in New York. So my first years, until I was 7, I was there, and then I decided to move to Spain because, of course, all my family is from Spain. So the first summer they came back, they were like, okay, now what do we do with Paula? So I went to this typical summer camp with my cousins and like to make friends. And I was lucky that the first sport I played at 9 a.m. was tennis. Okay. And it was like, I fell in love with it. And also I was lucky that I found this coach, that he was like amazing and like a second dad for me. So it was like all the connection with him and the sport was super like amazing and instant. So since then I had very clear that I wanted to become a professional.
You liked it at first sight?
Yeah, in my case I liked it, and it's like still today like I love this sport, and I'm saying this because after I was a year that I stopped last year, I even like value it more, and I see like how much I love this sport, and yeah, I just like the idea of playing and the idea of competing every year, every week. So yeah, I really enjoy it.
And how was like that transition from enjoying it, and loving the sport to I want to be a pro, and then the stress, I guess, comes from like starting to deliver, to do some good results as a junior? Was it easy, natural, or you start to really suffer?
No, of course not. And in my case, I always say that I love this sport, but of course there's one moment in your life that it becomes also a job.
Yeah.
And it becomes like pressure and responsibility and so many expectations that it's very tough to handle, because as I always say that your brain is not prepared to handle all these kind of things when you're 18, 19, not even 25. You're maybe ready for that when you're 40. Yeah. But then for tennis, it's too late. So you have to like, the process of maturity, it's like super fast. And I think that's why in my case, I'm never ashamed of saying it, but that's why I went through depression and I had mental health problems. And because I was 18 and I was a very good junior, but then the step of going to pros is not easy.
When you start losing quite often.
You start losing, and people are expecting you to be the next Sharapova. And why is she not top 10 yet? And I wasn't even top 100 in that moment. So imagine the expectations were super high, but my level or my mental capacity wasn't ready for that. Yeah. So of course I went through all that periods of my life, and about your question about, I had very clear I wanted to be professional, but I've been through so many phases in my career. But I think also today when I think about it and when I look back, I'm happy I went through all that because I think it made me the player or the person I am, and I consider myself that I'm a fighter, and that made me like so strong.
Yeah. Yeah, you learned the lesson the hard way, right? So maybe now,
Unfortunately, yes.
yeah, it's easier to handle success, no, this outside pressure. Because at the end, there's a big amount of cases of people who got some success quite early, and like the pressure was so big that they cracked and they never were able to kind of come back. So getting through it is not easy at all.
It's not, and for me, like, I love to see like careers, in her case also, Caro, like to see careers that they were like so high and then you go like low again, but then you're able to like come back and get like come back a situation that it's super tough. And for me, I even like sometimes, of course, we see great champions. Oh, I want to be like Novak Djokovic, the GOATs, but it's like almost so perfect, their career. But I admire more like careers that I have been like the highs and the lows have been very tough, but we try to handle it, no? And we get stronger.
Yeah.
So.
When you had some tough moments mentally and you went through depression, do you think it's because of your own pressure or the pressure of the outside?
For me, in my case, it's a very good question because I think it's both. I think when you're in the highest level of a sport, of elite, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. I think we have, all of us, an obsessive personality that we always want more and it's never enough. So I think that comes with our DNA, you know. But also I think the pressure around, it's never easy. It's something I always said it, and I really don't like it, maybe from the tennis world, if I have to say, like maybe the agents that are around, the people that are around, they see young kids, talented kids with money, so it's never easy to handle all these things, all this pressure. So in my case, I think it was both. The pressure I put on myself, but the people I had around me wasn't the best people I had. So of course, in that moment when you're very young, maybe you want to feel that support or that people. So I think what changed my career also, it's me realizing all that and changing completely the people I have around that I'm surrounded with. And for me, of course, I search for the best professionals, but for me it's more important to have good people by my side, and I think when I have that good people by my side, the rest comes.
Yeah, we spend so much time with our environment that sometimes it's even more important to have the support and to have the good vibes even when you're at the lowest, so you don't have someone who puts you even more down than you already are.
My opinion is completely like that, and I think that when you have the talent, if you're happy, if you work, the rest comes. I don't believe in all these things or people that put you down, but because he's like, he has coached this person or he has worked with this person means that he's amazing. Maybe amazing for me, it's another thing, you know. So I think it's very personal.
Yeah, and finding some balance. I think for most cases, some people are like robots and maybe they can function, no, being like a robot. But for 99% of people, you don't have like that happiness, no. It's you end up cracking. We had Tim on the podcast, and he was saying that one of his main regrets was to not enjoy a bit more, and that he thought that if he would have had a better balance in life, he probably would have avoided that emptiness after winning the US Open that maybe led to an injury, you know. And he was like, I wish I would have like that better balance.
Yeah, I agree on him, and I think one of the things I regret also, maybe when I was younger, is that I wasn't enjoying as much. Also, I was putting so much pressure on myself. But I think after this injury I had, I changed a bit. Of course, I'm never gonna be like, wow, super happy
The
when I
most
lose
relaxed
or
person,
enjoying the journey, like what we say, like all these cliche things. But I'm enjoying it a bit more, you know. I try to find moments, and sometimes with myself, I'm like sitting down, I'm like, wow, you're really lucky. And this, I never said it before. Before my injury, I was like, I want more, this is not enough. She won this, so I need to win 3 times more this. So you know all this pressure you put on yourself all the time. And now I'm like, I'm enough, you know. I'm doing well and I'm happy, I'm proud of myself. Like this year, I came back and I'm trying to enjoy the suffer of this sport, you know. So I think also the injury, I learned the hard way again, helped me a bit.
You really felt you came back as different.
Yes. I did. At the beginning, it was tough because I wasn't in the level, and especially the physical level I was expecting or hoping for. Because I left, I was playing well, and then at the beginning, I saw myself very far away. But I accepted that, and slowly I started to feel myself again better. And after that, I felt like it completely changed my mindset.
Yeah, maybe like no injuries. I think in your case also happens that maybe help you change the mindset and focus more no, in the process, right? That instead of obsessing on I need to be a 2 again or I need to win a slam. I'm not enough until I win a slam, right? And
I think that's the quote of all of us, right?
Yeah.
We're not enough until we win a slam, and it's not like that. I think.
Yeah, you always share that after winning the final, it was the most miserable moment because like it's emptiness, like. It doesn't fill me this, you know.
Because
winning.
then they ask for more.
Yeah.
It's not enough, and now you're gonna do a semifinals, and it's gonna be a disaster. And it's why you don't win another WTA finals, and it's always more and more and more. And same was in my case when I was on the top, and I won Indian Wells and #2. No, but why you're not #1? Like I'm trying, but I wish I could.
This is my limit at the moment, no?
Yeah, that moment I cannot. I'm giving my 100%. But I think, I think that's the tough part also of the sport, that it's never enough.
Yeah.
When you started to play well at the top, you raised at the end to #2 very quickly with a couple of very good tournaments in a row. How was it to win your first 1000 in Indian Wells?
For me, it was amazing. But I remember in that moment, you don't even realize what's happening. But after a while, I started like to see what I did, and I was like very proud of myself. But I have to say that period for me, that one and after, I think it's the one that I suffered the most on court. I was feeling like so much pressure. I felt like I was a big target also for the rest of the players, that it's normal. But for me, it came very fast because I started the year 75 in the world, and then I finished there. So I was like, wow, now all of a sudden I'm a target when I was never one. You know, I was like, okay, a player that plays good, but that's it, talented, you know. But then all of a sudden that pressure for me was very tough to manage, you know. So I have to say that that year for me was very challenging.
You can only like lose against one player.
Yeah, it was only acceptable one player, and sometimes, you know, because
anything else is a failure.
So yeah, even not for my mind, but for the people. And I never handled. I think right now it's better, but I never managed really well the expectations from the people, like criticizing me or judging me. I've always been a person that I didn't understand that really well. Now I know where I am, but at the beginning, I was like, why? I'm just playing tennis. Why is this people saying all this to me, you know? But then I realized that it's part of our job also. Yeah. It's not part of our job, honestly, but it should not be, but we have to accept it like that.
It's funny, I think, like, people don't understand the impact that it can have on athletes. All this criticism, like at the end, you're like a human being like anyone else. You're just amazing at what you do. But I think like people from the outside, they think that these messages don't have an impact, right? When actually they do. And most of the times they come at a moment where you're not at your best, right? So maybe you're already doubting about your abilities and having all these press or harsh comments on social media. Yeah. Like they're like just like burning even more.
That's why I really appreciate what she said a few months ago, and I reposted that and everything because I think it was great, and we need to speak up more about it, and I think a lot of good reactions from the players also. So I think that's very important to start to do all these things and to speak up because we have a voice for something, we have a platform. So I love the way that, for example, Carol is using it.
Especially for young players, right? Because you have seen enough like in life, but sometimes when we were discussing it, like I cannot imagine a 16-year-old girl trying to make it, who starts to be like in the eyes of betters, no, and like starts to get these kind of messages. Now you can understand, even if it hurts, you are able to relativize, no, and don't go into a dark place.
Yeah.
But sometimes.
But now,
like
and
teenagers.
I think in our time we didn't have it that much. When we were 16, 15, 17.
Facebook was not that bad.
Facebook was maybe
it was more
different.
Private in a way,
it was more private. But now it's worse.
Yeah, and also like sometimes media also after matches in press conference they can put you a lot in like uncomfortable situation. You know, it's
I
like,
agree.
oh, why did you lose? Well, we
you
can
did,
go
You
there.
did 20 double faults. You think I don't know? Like, really?
So it's
yeah.
not helping neither.
No,
And
it doesn't help. But I think because they're going in another way, like more for the clicks and the high headlines, you know. So it's getting a little bit.
I think it's funny because the criticism always comes from people who, like, objectively didn't accomplish as much as you do, right? Because most of the times, people who succeed, they're not that judgy on others, right? They understand
because
how
they're
hard
okay
it
with
is.
themselves and they're happy with themselves.
And it's like Caro, when she's 40, it's not that she's training 50% less than when she was fourth in the world, right?
It just
you
is
try
how
as
it
hard. You try as hard, maybe sometimes even
Yeah.
harder than you did
True.
in the past,
True.
but you don't have the success that goes with it. In that tough moment, did you work with a psychologist?
Always.
Always.
Always. I've
Even
been-
before you did?
Yes, I started maybe was when I was 18, 19.
Okay.
Yeah, and since then I always been working not with the same one. Now it's been a while that I've been working with the same one, but I've always believed a lot in expressing and helping in conversations and having a mental partner with me. So as I always say, we go to the gym every day to work our muscles, but we don't work this one that we're like 24/7 thinking. So I'm always like super pro psychologist.
Yeah, it's true. Now it's changing more, and players are starting to be more open. You've always been one of the most open, right? But I think it's good to to share what's going on, no? Because sometimes on tour, like everyone is so close that it's like not helping the case.
That the good thing now is that I think that most people now think that this is not a weakness.
Yeah.
Before they thought that saying all these kind of things was like, oh, she's weak.
Yeah.
And when I see a player maybe speaking up, I'm like, wow, she's strong. I admire them more.
Yeah, you have to be confident to be vulnerable.
That's why.
Yeah.
And but before it wasn't like that. So
It's true.
I think now we are lucky enough that players and people and athletes but not even us, like people from the outside that doesn't play sports, see it in that way, and I think that's really positive.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And like during your injury in 2023 mainly, is there any moment where because you tried to come back a few times, right? And it seems like it's always like one step ahead of you.
That was a bit my fault.
Okay.
Because I have to
Patience
say, yes, I'm very bad in patience. So I remember I'm like, maybe I'm not 100%, but I can try this tournament. Let's go this tournament. And my team was like, this is a very delicate injury. So I think, no, and I was like, no, but maybe I can play with a brace. Like, are you getting crazy? Like, why not? It's okay, and then I will just serve and try to play 2-3 shots like Caro, but it didn't work. So it was me just because I wasn't accepting stopping. Like I never had an injury in my life. So for me it was very tough. All of a sudden, like playing constantly and here in the sofa and without moving. So for me, accepting that injury it took me time. That's why I was traveling in the tournaments. I wanted to still feel a tennis player until I stopped and I have to stop and recover well, because if not, I will never recover. So
you had stress fracture?
Yeah, stress fracture L4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it came like one day?
I was playing in Rome the day off between matches, and I did a backhand cross court. I felt something weird. I told to my physio, I think this is not something like muscular or the muscle. I think this is something else. But I continued playing with painkillers. I played 2-3 more matches, but I was destroyed, and they were having like treatment 5-6 hours after the matches. I couldn't even sleep, but I was like still trying to play. And then I did an MRI, and I was in French Open. I went there to the doctors, and they said, no, you have to stop minimum 3-4 months. And I'm like, no, I'm playing French Open. I'm gonna play. And they're like, you have to stop. So yeah, that was the beginning.
Oh.
And then it's true that probably if you were active, trying to go too
It wasn't
early,
helping.
it was not
It
healing.
was even slowing more the process.
Let the body heal.
Yeah, I wasn't letting the body heal. So
You
it
did
was
a few tries, no?
I did.
During the
I
next-
did after Wimbledon. Like
Yeah. I saw you in Canada, I think.
yes.
I saw you were pulling out, and I saw
Yes.
you like this try, like, this
Yes,
shit, like, this,
but the
top
first
one.
mistake was after French. I tried to play Wimbledon. I played Wimbledon.
Yeah.
So my first mistake was trying to push myself to play Wimbledon. That's what where I was saying that I played with a brace there. So I think there of course, I slowed the process much more.
Yeah.
And they told me like, you need to wait 2 more months, 1 more month. And then I did the other try in Canada, and then after that I had to stop like completely, and there I started to behave a little bit more.
Is there a moment where you kind of have doubts if you'll be able to like get back to your your best
100%.
level?
Yes. Well, first I had doubts if this was going to recover, because I had sometimes negative feedback from the doctors. They were like quite negative in this case, so I was really scared.
So they told you might not be able to play at the same level?
Yes.
Okay.
This was like, they were like, this looks quite bad. I'm like, they're wrong. I was always saying they're wrong. But then for me, when I came back, the first months that I was also feeling pain, this January, February, I was trying to play, but I had to retire in a few, and the doctors were saying, look, we're gonna give you a last chance with the injections, and let's see, because if you have to go surgery, then you will never come back in a high level. So I was really scared. But the beginning, there's where I thought that seeing the level I was in that moment and the injury and everything, I saw myself so far away. I didn't know what to do. And for me, like the moment that I saw a little bit more the light was Madrid. Madrid was very bad for me, very emotionally, also the injury and everything. But there I decided to do, like, I stopped, I spoke with my team, and I'm like, guys, I think I need to go back with the people where it went very well for me. When was that? Okay, 2021. I won the same team again.
Yeah.
So something got into me. Like, I feel I need the same team. The same team was the fitness coach in that moment, and nutritionist and psychologist of that moment.
Okay.
And for me, that 2 things are very important. Like for my tennis, for my career has been very important, how I am physically and mentally. So I spoke with my coach, and I'm like, let's do that. He was like, but now it's the middle of the season. Okay, I understand it was a bit shocking for everyone, but I'm a little bit like that. When I feel something, like, I have to go for it. Yes. So I did that. I changed with my team. Of course, they were informed about the injury and everything. And I'm like, and they were like, we can make this work. And I remember saying, but how many weeks I need? How many weeks I need to feel good again? You know, I want to feel good again. I was out of the top 100, so I was very scared. But I think sometimes when, of course, good professionals, but when you have faith on something, no matter what, I think you find the strength with that. And I think that's a little bit what happened to me, because this was the middle of the season. And with that, and then I was lucky enough that I had one more injection, cortisone and all this. But after that, because it was my last chance of the year, I didn't need any more, so that was very good. I think that my body, I changed my food, my way of training, and all this combination helped me not feeling my back again. Of course, there's days I feel it a bit, but it's nothing, like, it's something I accept. Like, I think all the athletes have something always. So that was okay for me. And then I started to feel back and back and back, day by day, and here I am.
And after it went pretty quickly at the end, like, the result was quite amazing.
In Washington,
Yes, but I think I've been a girl of extremes, you know.
I can join the team.
That's why.
I'm joining.
That's why I'm looking at you. I'm like,
I join.
All or nothing.
All or nothing. But it's cool, no? It's fun, no?
Yes, when it's all, it's better. When it's nothing, it's not that good.
It makes a good story, at least. I don't know.
It makes a good, but I'm a bit like that. So yeah, when I feel everything it's connected, we fly, no?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you got it. But yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And so, once you start like winning again and having some good performances, like, do you get more this stress again of I need to like?
This is my challenge now, because now I think I'm in that point that I believe in this kind of things, and I think that sometimes life gives you another chance. Yeah. And now I'm maybe in a similar place when I was on top 10 again. So let's see how I deal it now. But I think now it's going to be different because of experience, maturity. This doesn't mean I'm going to win. I'm going to still lose, of course, plenty of matches, and matches that maybe I wasn't expecting. I don't mean that thing. What I mean is that I think I will take it emotionally in a different way because of my maturity, and I think also because of the people I have by my side, that gonna help me so much.
Nice.
So of course I have another opportunity to, let's say, prove myself, how I will deal with all these expectations, with the media, with winning, losing. So I'm really looking forward to that because I'm a person of challenges, and I think it's gonna be a tough but a nice one.
Nice. And like now you're starting to prepare next season. Like, do you have like clear objectives in terms of results, or you try to take it day by day? I'm gonna try to give my 100%, and I don't want to obsess with winning a specific tournament or going back to my best ranking.
I try not to put goals like of results,
Yeah, you
because
control those.
because I put so much pressure already on myself that if I do that, like my main goal always with my team, and even there's when they talk to me, they're like, okay, let's do this better, let's improve on that, because I think results, first of all, it doesn't depend 100% on me. I have an opponent, and the level is very high, so I cannot control it. And second, it's too much pressure. So I want to go day by day. Of course, I wouldn't say it's a goal, but I think it's more like you have dreams and like things that drives you and motivate you. Like, wow, I wish I want to win a slam, or I want to win this big tournament, or I want to try to be every week playing quarterfinals, semifinals against the best in the world in center courts. I think that's what we play for. So of course I have that in my mind, but I don't want to put it like as a goal to do.
Don't obsess about it.
Yes, that's a little bit how I try to work on that.
Nice. And is this a new mindset, or you had the same one a couple of years ago?
I always had this. I try to hide because I know myself. And of course there's moments, I think you will understand at the end of the season that you're maybe looking a little bit the points and the ranking, because we have goals of finishing top 8, WTA finals, and it's something that you want to get there, like, wow, I made it. So of course there's moments there, but when I have that moments, I see how I am and how I play, it's not helping me, so I try not to do that, to maybe block that thoughts. I try to like get rid of it, So I try to have goals more like improvement.
And how do you try to balance your tennis training and
traveling,
life or whatever? Do you like to do nothing outside of tennis, or do you like to do other things? Or?
Look, I cannot stop. Like my brain and physically, I'm a girl like super active. So I love to do plenty of things. And the thing is that I love tennis, but I love other things. I enjoy life so much. So look, normally when I'm having days off, when I have my time, right now what I want is to be with my people and do simple things. I'm quite simple on that also, like simple life, relax, enjoy, have time for myself. I love it also. But of course, looking forward and looking to the future, I want to do so many things. Like when I finish tennis, or maybe I want to do help the kids. I've always have this thing with kids, so I love it. I have like, I want this project, maybe an academy related to sports, but then I'm like, maybe fashion, I love fashion. So I have plenty of things that I really enjoy. So it's something that also I like for myself, and that I'm not worried for the future, because I think that balance of tennis and my other life, it's pretty good. But right now what I'm looking for when I have a day off, when I have my time to disconnect, is to be with my people, because I'm not able to, and to do simple things. Maybe go to the beach.
Do you struggle with all the traveling? Because at the end, tennis is one of the most intense sports in the world in terms of how many days per year you are working and outside of home. Is it something that like really like you struggle with, or you're fine with it?
I got used to it, but of course at the beginning of the year you're a little bit more excited, but it's tiring. It's really tiring, and it gets very intense, and sometimes I miss like being home for a while. So it's tough, and for me, my people are very important also. So to leave them, I have a little sister that I'm really connected to. So not seeing her much, or not seeing her grow, it's tough sometimes. So I struggle a bit, but I got used to it. And as I say, I think most of the tough things that this sport has, it compensates the love that I have for this sport and the passion. So it's like I find the way to be motivated and to not see the negative things that much.
Do you think the tour should try to evolve into being a bit more like less weeks per year? Or?
Look, that's a very good conversation, and I think all of us are speaking up about it. And look, for me, the season every time it's longer. Starting like earlier, and it's finishing later. And of course, I have plenty of conversations, maybe with the WTA, of how would you do it. Honestly, I don't even have a solution. How would I do it? Because there's so many tournaments, there's so many things behind that we don't even know. Like it's plenty of things that I don't have a solution. But if I have to say, of course, I would love to play less.
Yeah, no,
I would love to play less and have more quality, maybe even bigger events, and play less and have better quality of matches, of players, and everyone fresh. Of course, I would love that. But I don't have a solution either. I don't know how would I do that.
And have you thought about you choosing a more selective schedule?
I do that.
You do
I already do that.
And like trusting that you will deliver more in those weeks that you play, right? And
that's one of my goals for next year. I did it maybe a bit now at the end of the season, but I was never like this, and this has been a very tough thing to do. I started maybe now, the last 3 months of the season to do like, hey, I did a good tournament here. I'm not playing next week.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's 1,000. For me, it was like, what am I doing? I'm maybe withdrawing from. I withdraw from Wuhan.
Yeah, you feel guilty.
I'm feeling so bad. What am I? Am I being professional? But then I'm like, yes, I am. I'm prioritizing myself and my mental state and my physical. And if I'm not gonna deliver 100%, it's no point to play that tournament. Maybe I'm gonna deliver in the next one, and maybe it's good for me to rest 2 days and then practice and prepare well the next one. So that's a little bit maybe what I'm gonna do for next year also, try to like play smarter.
Yeah.
That's also a risk because you never know, maybe I'm not gonna be in the ranking I am, or maybe I am because I'm gonna be fresher, you never know. Yeah. But I think it's worth to try it, and because the tour cannot change, well, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
When you did those changes of schedule, was it more like you felt tired physically or mentally?
In that moment it was physically, because mentally a bit also, but was less mental because I was coming from the injury, so I stopped really. So I was also taking care of my body a little bit. But when the mental part comes, that it will come, I prefer to stop because I won't be able to maybe give my 100% in that match to fight properly. So
and at that stake, if you're not at your 100, there's like 50 persons who are like passing over you. So it's better to just stop and find again.
But it's never easy because you see the tour that's never stopping. Yeah. So you feel
you
like
see the live ranking.
Yes. So it's never easy.
It's like a hamster wheel, and if you leave it.
Yeah, it's not an easy decision, but I think for the long term, it's
you have
the
to pick your battles, otherwise you end up exhausted, no?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes in the tour you see the Asian like tour, no? There's already like people who look like
well,
that
we
already.
saw this year.
It was in which one was first, Wuhan or Beijing?
Beijing was first.
Beijing
was first.
In Wuhan this year, it was a lot of.
And Beijing, the thing is that it was 2 weeks, so it was very long. And then Wuhan was one. So all of a sudden, I finished a Saturday, but I had to play Monday in a different place, city. So I wasn't ready for that, and I prefer to stop.
Nice.
It's interesting.
Why was the reason you stopped? It was physical or mentally?
Mentally.
Okay.
Obviously, I had my shoulder who was bothering me for almost like a year and a half, and that we were not finding a solution, but it was more like mentally. Okay. It was like, for me, it was the second year that was kind of tough. And since the beginning of the year, I was thinking to kind of take a break and maybe, but I really wanted to play Olympics in France. And so when I thought at the beginning to maybe like take 1 month, 2 months, I was like, yeah, but what about if I don't come back and I don't play Olympics, or if I need maybe more than 2 months? So we tried to adapt and like lighter schedule, lighter practice, morning practice, afternoon you do whatever you want.
Yeah, I have done this too also.
Yeah, it's like, so we kind of battle with the team until the end of the year in US Open, Guadalajara. And then I really needed like time to refresh my mind and think about why I wanted to keep playing tennis. And during the year and the season when it was so intense, I felt I couldn't think. I couldn't walk.
You just have to keep going.
Yeah, I couldn't walk properly with a psychologist during the season because we were just like putting tape on what was happening this week. And the deep cause was not worked on. So it was also good to do that. We had time to enjoy a little bit because sometimes being a couple on tour, it's not being a couple at all.
I know.
It's like
I know. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, you're more like a psychologist.
yeah,
I'm like a professional amateur psychologist, the bugs guy.
Yeah, everything.
You know,
and
it's
we're so emotional, so it's never
yeah,
easy
it's tough,
for,
you know,
for
like,
them, you know.
it's not easy on tour, so
Yeah.
you know, like quality time was important. And I started at the end my pre-season like little by little in November with like no expectation. Let's see where it brings me. And
now you found the reason why you want to continue playing?
yeah, I think I do. Like I feel sometimes I want to like do it for myself for first time and like kind of discover the tennis life my own way with the balance I want and not the balance I was like kind of pushed to do.
Yeah.
And so it's new. It's like for now I work with no coach. So I spend 1 month with Albert Costa listening to him. I spend 1 week in Paris with
With
Lubicic.
people and learning from all of them.
Yes.
Taking
So for me, it's like
and good people by your side.
yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Very. And you know, for me, it's like completely different. Seeing it differently. Plan also later schedule. Let's see what it brings. And you know, like. No goals. Let's see how it goes. If I have a good time, you know, like I will keep going,
That's
and
nice.
if not, we will see. But
How was it to handle all the pressure in your country, playing French Open every year, saying that you had to win that
yes,
tournament?
especially that clay court is maybe not my favorite one.
But
She
I
was
know.
born in the wrong country.
But I know. I mean, you always
Yeah.
had that. So.
Yes, you always had it, and especially we were at a time in French tennis that the men's like Tsonga Gael was a bit at the end, and the girls it was like Christina and I, and we were kind of a little bit like lonely on the top or trying to make it. So it was not easy because like you were supposed to go far every single time, but obviously me already like clay court was not my favorite one. And on top of it, with expectation, I was not doing very well at all. I was having a very bad time. And it's like, whatever you do outside, if you win the tournament, it was not good.
I know.
And in slam, until a couple of years ago, I didn't do better than quarterfinal once in Roland Garros. And then, you know, I was putting goals, I don't know if it was mine or the other ones, other people to like, okay, I want to win Roland Garros. But it's like, the way is so long, you know, like,
Yeah.
and dealing with like anxiety and everything was impossible.
It's never
to play.
easy to play at home.
I had like some very lonely moment on that center court.
Yeah.
Like it
And
was
also
a
you
2-hour
have-
match. I felt I played 5 sets, you know.
And also in that court, you have the team so far away.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
feel
yeah.
more lonely, you know.
true.
I'm like, wow, I feel so lonely here in
Yeah,
Finland.
yeah. I had some times like I was like, come on, just
I
bring me
understand.
outside that court because I cannot do
understand.
anything today.
I understand. It's never easy.
Like,
Do you enjoy or do you thrive on like, because you can love tennis, but maybe you cannot love competition or like going on tour and being with all, or like you're like eating next to your opponent. Is it something that you suffer or you're fine with it?
I really enjoy the competition.
You're a
I also
competitive
have.
person.
I'm very competitive, too much sometimes. I have to learn how to lose and be okay with it because I cannot even play like card games with my team because I'm really bad on that. Unfortunately, I don't want to. I need to improve. I don't like this from myself, but it's something I'm improving on. Being on tour, the lifestyle of tour, I like it. What maybe I don't like much is being with maybe so many people and players around. I have to say that I feel very lucky that I'm pretty like good with all the players, and I feel that the environment, the energy it's nice.
Yeah.
But I also feel that when I'm on site for an amount of hours, I'm exhausted.
It drains, yeah.
It drains me. Even if you have a good relationship, you're having a good time, it still drains you. It's not the same that when you practice like outside of the tournaments. I don't know this feeling. I don't know why, but that
It's
happens.
the lack of peace, right? Like I think maybe like
Yeah.
if you have to deliver at such level, you need some kind of inner peace, not to
Yeah.
be able to relax and channel your emotions well.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like at Wimbledon, it's raining and the little room is so
everyone.
packed.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like it's not about socializing or if you like that person. It's like I need to be by myself, no?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, and there is the stress and the tension of everyone.
You
and
can
like,
just breathe the tension. Yes.
like
It comes to you. Yes.
like player or tight,
Yeah.
team or tight, and like everyone is
tired.
together.
Now
It's
warm
like-
up. Now we'll go there. So you can feel that, you know.
That's
so,
true.
It drains you.
And to have good connection with like the other players and be friendly with the other one, does it help you to like find it like?
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem, and I always said that I'm this type of person that I know how to separate. I think also I know how to separate because I'm very competitive. So I know, like in that moment, it's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not my friend there.
yeah,
you know.
the killer instinct is
Yes,
natural to you.
it's there,
yeah.
but then I know how to be like super okay after a match. If I have to go and congratulate her or to talk with her, it's already done. The battle is done.
Yeah.
So they told me that way. I'm educated that way, and it's how I believe it should be. So for me, there's no problem on that, and I have to say that I have friends on tour, and it's nice that this sport also gave me this.
It's true in women's it's starting to change, but when you compare the men's tour, no, and then the women's, you can see like big differences
Yeah.
on how people are like socializing, and
Yeah.
men seem to be like way more relaxed most of the times.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think women, it's really changing,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
new generation compared to the one a little bit in
Yeah.
the past.
I believe the same.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
we're lucky now that we have
Yeah, it's getting better.
great athletes and players, and it's getting
Yeah, it's
much good environment, easy environment, and I think it's helpful for all of us.
Yeah, I think it will help people like survive, like to be more years on tour. No, if like all the like besides the 2 hours where you're competing, you're being a bit more relaxed and having
Yeah.
a good time. Because if you're tight after 10 years,
It's-
you need to
course.
take a break. No, and maybe that's a part of also what happened to
Maybe,
you. Yeah, you
yeah.
need to like.
Yeah, she wasn't also in the generation maybe before me, so
Yeah.
wasn't
I'm old
maybe.
now.
I didn't want to say that. I'm
You
getting
can,
old
it's
too.
okay.
It didn't sound good. It didn't sound very good. That generation.
She's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
very young. Come on,
I mean, 4 years in sports, it's like
it's crazy.
different.
It's so
It's true.
different.
And now it's changed, but like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you were ranked to your 30s, you were supposed to just drop the racket and.
Yeah, now it's
Yeah, it's true. It's
much
changing.
longer.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you know like how long you want to play, or you just like figure it out?
Look, I have one problem on this. I would play forever. Of course, my body won't respond. But then I really want to become a mom. So that's my trying to find that balance, because I would play until I'm 40 if I could. But then I want to become a mom, so that's something, because it's something really important. I have that mother instinct. So I really don't know. I really don't know. I think when I feel it or when I see the moment. But for now, I want to play like 4 years. I'm feeling good again. I was 1 year injured, so
Yeah, it's time
it's
to
like I
enjoy
lost a
now.
year there. So I'm really like hungry, like
Yeah.
to
you
play
wanna go.
more years. Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
And you?
I will see. I will see how it goes.
Yeah.
If
We're
I'm having
keeping our options open.
Yes. Yeah, if I'm having a
if
good
you win
time,
Australian Open, it's gonna be different. Eh? You wanna continue?
maybe.
No, I think if she wins
Oh, the
Australian Open,
opposite.
you will
Yes.
not see her ever again.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Check,
can sign,
check.
and it's good.
If she wins, I go to the airport to see where she is.
She left holidays in Maldives
Yeah.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
No, I think it will depend also like
Yeah.
how
you feel.
I
think
cope,
it's-
but I will not be there in 5 years. Don't
But
count on me.
finally,
Don't count on
have
me.
to play you. No?
4 or 5 years, I will not be there anymore.
Yeah.
I think it really evolved very quickly in a career. I mean, maybe 5 years ago, you know, like I was like, yeah, if I'm healthy, I will keep going.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
I
like
think it changes how you feel. It's
Yes.
so intense.
Yeah.
It's so emotional and so intense and so mental that maybe in 1 year you feel like it's 5
Yeah.
in a year of tennis. So
You have to take it day by day,
Yeah.
right? Try to make sure that like what you're doing at the present doesn't hurt your chances of choosing in the future, but then don't obsess on trying to figure out where you're gonna be 2 years from now.
yeah,
It's probably gonna be quite different from what you expect now.
yeah.
what would be the advice you will give to your younger self?
To To my younger self, well, I said it a bit before. I think one of the things I regret the most is not enjoying enough, like putting so much pressure on myself, thinking that that match was, my life was going to change because of a match. So especially when I was very young, and maybe I would have done different decisions, you know, maybe listening more to myself, what I think, and maybe a little bit less the people I had around in that moment, because you know, when you're very young and you're very good, there's plenty of new friends.
Yes.
And maybe in that moment you don't even know what to do or who to listen or where to go. So a little bit that, enjoying and maybe following more my instinct in that moment, and maybe changing a bit decisions, you know, that you had when you were very young.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes when you reach success or top 100 now of any sport so young, it's complicated to, you're not equipped mentally, no, to handle it and to understand what you want, no, and I know that your agent or your coach or your family.
I
or
think
whatever
that
it
comes
is.
with time, and unfortunately, experience, bad experience, good ones, so, and maturity.
Yes, because it's decisions that in the normal life you will make when you are 25, 30, not when
or
you're
even
18.
more. Yeah. So that's why.
At the end, you're in normal life, you're until 22 most of the times without having to take big decisions. You're going to school, then university, you're back with your parents most of the time at home after this. So you're like really preparing yourself mentally.
And here it's
Here it's
completely...
like since 12, you are like with
you're
pressure,
almost like
expectations.
the boss of a company.
Yes.
Because we're dealing with so many people, and you're like the leader of it.
Yeah.
And you're almost underage. Like, how are you going to deal with all that?
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Would you like your daughter or son to be a tennis player? Or?
That's a tricky one, because I have a sister, so she's been like a little bit like a daughter also.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, no, go and study. And some parts is like, it's a very nice. I want them to do sports. That's for sure. I would love them to do sports, because I think it gives you another vision and values in life.
Sure.
But also then I think the tennis life or the sports life, it's so tough. But I'm this kind of person that I want them to decide whatever they want, and I think if they play tennis, the good thing is that I've played also, so I will try to help and the best for them. But if I would really like it, talking from my experience, no, because it's been very tough. But seeing it maybe from the outside, and that it's a beautiful sport at the end, why not? It's something healthy and nice at the same time.
Yeah.
And maybe the younger generations, the ones that are 18, 19, 20, they're a bit more relaxed now, no? Like you see Alcaraz, and they seem to be like not taking it so seriously in a way. They still work very hard,
no,
right?
It's true, and sometimes I look at them as an inspiration, because they deal with it, especially Carlitos. It's unbelievable. He's like smiling all the time. Like, you're 5-0 and you're smiling. How is this possible?
And you just want to break your racket down, and you're like,
yes.
Right?
And
like,
I think Yannick or Carlitos are very similar. So I think that's like the inspiration for us, like dealing it that way. It's the proper way to do it, like
we're
to
getting
find
inspired by the new generation.
and it's possible to work very hard and
to find
at the same time don't make it all about it, because
of course,
otherwise
I think
it's
that's
too much.
the main key of
have
success.
your identity as a human being also. Cool.
We are at the end. Who would you like to listen in the podcast, men or women?
Who would I like to listen?
Present, past.
And then you have to help us bring them. So.
Stefanos Tsitsipas
Vale.
would be a very good one.
We would love to.
And then somebody I would really like, I'm between two, but I would say Maria Sharapova. And then Novak Djokovic. I think these two would be very interesting to hear from them, to know their stories. I think they're people that went above of being a tennis player, just an athlete. So that's why these two are quite special for me, and to learn from them.
Nice.
Was Maria your idol?
Yes, she was when I grew up, and as I said, because it's not all the game that she was playing, or it was that she was going like above tennis, different. Like she had this different mindset of being an athlete, but more than that. So that's something that I really liked from her, and it was like very inspiring for me
yeah,
to
she's
see.
true inspiration for like being an athlete and then like how
And
she
all-
built their business
Her
around.
business and this businesswoman, this
identity.
strong, independent woman, and when I see her like talk about other things, it's I can see she's very intelligent and smart.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
your
much
time.
for
Paula.
having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Having us.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episodes. And it will mean the world to me if you can share this episode with someone you think will enjoy it. Thank you and see you soon!